Hello, everyone. My name is Dagon. Dagon, the dragon god of a universe far away. The universe I created. But no, not the one I'm talking about. And boy, do I have a story to tell. But where do I begin? This story has gone from an adventure to saving the universe from being taken over. So you ask, how did I get here? How did we get here? It started with a mysterious creature. Took over the stream. DD's stream, to be precise. That was working for a higher up that we did not know about until later on. I will get to that shortly, though. The main truth is that our friends Alex, Morrison, Lag, and Ray were taken. Our leader, Darkdragontc, TC, or called DD for short, some call him the Bad Dragon, it's your preference, has the power of dreams that can sometimes become real if his friends are in trouble. His adventure led to rescuing his friends, but with getting them all out of there, they were stuck in a time loop. Because at the very end of the ship, because we were stuck in a time loop, because at the very end the ship was destroyed, but the time sent them back again and again to where they had to rescue his friends once more. DD called on one of his close friends, Phoenix Lucario to be precise, to rescue his friends from the time loop and get them home safely and break it. It almost worked, but we found out later that the higher up was a dragon named Vrchat. Phoenix and DD were able to get Alex, Morrison, and Ray back, but Lag, unfortunately, was a different story. They blew up the ship Lag was on. Okay. Yes, they blew up the ship Lag was on, though while he was able to escape, he was not able to head back to the ship. He was forced to take a detour to an unknown planet and crash land on one of the islands that is called Mist. Later that night, I was able to meet up with Dark and tell him that we got an odd message from Lag's computer. In his room, it was encrypted very well, to the point no one seemed to be able to understand or crack it, except one, and that was me. Due to my expansive knowledge of the many universes out there, I was able to crack it within a few minutes. Once cracked, a video recording played of him saying he needed to be rescued. Given that his message was sent to us just now, the planet he was on was still a future ahead of us, with nowhere to start. Most drew a blank, except Soul. He had an idea and was able to help us in his room, because his room had a bookcase that gave us a clue on how to get to Lag, and by pressing a secret button on it, secret button on it opened up a portal to the library, which led to more clues to where he was stuck. And we were able to open a portal over to the mysterious world and appear out on the island called Mist, but unfortunately finding ourselves stuck in the same situation as Lag as well. After we all found Lag together on the Mist Island, and now with all of us finally together, we try to find an escape to get out of this world, which unfortunately led to the point of doing some tasks on Mist Island and getting this lost green page, which led us to reconstructing a secret book that held a big secret. What's that big secret, you ask? Dee Dee's childhood that for some reason he could not remember. And that childhood memory he could not remember was Dee Dee's long lost brother named Vrchat, the same person that was going after all of us and causing all this trouble for them for some time. This led to a final plan of stopping him once and for all. However, before that battle began, we were all pulled into a dark area where we met up with Vrchat, giving his final words of what he was going to do and plans to take over the planet that most of us lived on, and after the universe, though I told him good luck with that one. After his monologue, Phoenix had an idea to take us to a chamber and push us inside the hole, which teleported us to a cloning room where we were knocked out and contained, which led us to being clones. I did know already where we were and that I was cloned. However, as for the rest of them, they don't remember. That would change shortly. After we went on another battle against Vrchat with our ship as clones of us. However, it led to the point that the ship we destroyed was a decoy, and that the ship he destroyed in the process was also a decoy as well. That made the real bodies begin to wake up and realize they don't remember anything at all from what happened besides Vrchat's message to take over the world and the universe. At the same point, we were in the hiding because Vrchat thinks he has won the whole thing. Now you got the backstory of this as it is so far, and what happens up until now. What I'm about to tell you will lead into something that will shock us and all of you watching. Since there is 9 of us now, only 5 of us can go on this trip, and 4 of the rest will stay behind and communicate with us on the ship nearby to keep a close eye in case any problems arise. The chosen 5 was me, Dark, Phoenix Lucario, and Ray, and then Solaria, which led to a stronger ship that was ready to take down Vrchat altogether. However, it did come at a price. Alright. A few days have passed since then, and now we start to talk it over on what the plan is to take down Dee Dee's brother once and for all, and draw him out so we and draw him out. So we get geared back up at Dee Dee's castle with what we usually wear, but before we head to Phoenix's ship, Dark had a word with Lag and his team, letting him in on what his team will be doing while we go on the main fight with Vrchat. After his talk with Lag, Dark's team heads for Phoenix's ships. By the way, to any of you curious viewers watching and want to know the name of Phoenix's ship, it's codenamed Maxwell. But anyways, after aboard, we get to the ship, weapons, shields, and hacking systems up and running, and Lag and his team head out to their ship as well. We then both head out into space for what's to come. We eventually fought the same battles once more with the small ships with small ships and everything in between. However, we needed to go on a different path if we were to have any hope. During the middle of the fight, on our way to get to Vrchat, Lag came with his ship and his crew to give us a hand. With the help of Lag and the rest, they helped support us on all the way to Sector 5 of the galaxy. At this point, they had to stay back because this part of the galaxy was too dangerous for them and their ship, and for their ship, and we didn't want to lose them in this battle to Vrchat. So they said their goodbyes, but to keep in touch. Little did Lag's team know that this would not be the case, and soon after communication was cut and loss, and it was just Dark, me, and the crew. There is something wrong. I can feel it, but I couldn't put my finger on it. What it was, I can see my other friends running around, keeping the ship in good condition. I start to see more of the future, Dee Dee's future, and even beyond, like really far beyond, months, even years in the future, for our team and crew. But I had to stop thinking of these visions for now. Now we were getting close to our destination, and we finally found the ship we were looking for. It was Vrchat's ship. Vrchat hijacked our communications and asked us to surrender, or he will kill us with his weapons he has. Dark noticed that on our scanners there is a teleporter connection that has opened up. He thought to himself, is that actually right there? If I can try to sneak into and disable his weapons fully, but before we got to that point, Vrchat closed his communications and started to blast at us with his weapons anyways. I forgot to add that actual thing. Okay. We get to our battle stations to start the final fight, to either destroy Dee Dee's brother once and for all, or find another way to stop him before he has no family left. I then thought to myself, I know the future, so I pulled Dee Dee to the side in a private away from all the others in a secure area where they can't hear and use knowledge I have of Dee Dee's future, and told him that you go up through that teleporter, you will not come back from there. In fact, you may die. And said, now I know it better. I know better, Dee Dee, as I have seen far, far in the future. Okay, I told him I could give him an item to possibly aid him in helping him have a higher chance of surviving. But if you don't take it, then you're on your own, and I can't help you any further once you go through that teleporter. But in the end, he declined my aid and agreed with the idea, sadly knowing his fate. And in the effort to stop this and possibly save his brother, we go back to the crew and commune with them for a bit, telling them to get ready for the ensuing final battle. And as Didi gets ready to go through the portal, before that, Didi was able to commune with his brother and said that if I come aboard and talk things over with you, will you stop firing at my friends? He agreed for now, but his friends thought he was out of his mind. I had to make a stand to not let his friends go in the way of Didi's destiny. I said, look everyone, stop. This is Didi's choice, and that's his brother that is on that ship. Let him go on a board, and maybe he can end this once and for all. Everyone was worried, especially Phoenix, as he already lost one friend a while. It took some convincing to calm him. The rest, they understood and let him teleport. I soon thought to myself, in my mind, I made a mistake of letting him go, but it was his destiny and I can't change that. I could have, but it could have dire consequences. Then the teleporter went offline, and there was no way to get him back. Didi was on his own. But at this point, Vrchat seems to fire at us anyways. But I get a feeling from Didi's mind to tell the others to kill the ship and just get it over with, thinking it was a sacrifice. But when I tell that to the others, they freaked the fuck out and said, no, fuck that, Didi is on board. And I then said, yes, it's what Didi wanted. Then send them the final message by me touching all their minds and in their memory. They then agree in sadness and disappointment and proceed with the idea. But Ray had an idea. He said, I could use my light powers to destroy his ship, but they are not ready, and I don't fully know how to use and unlock their full potential. It seems the untapped power of Ray's godlike light powers locked away inside him were not going to budge. But then I had an easy solution. I told Ray, I'm going to give you some of my divine energy that will unlock your full potential and your powers forever. So I said, I'll give you some of mine as well. And with that, both our touches gave Ray the ability to blast Vrchat's ship into pieces, but at what cost? Most thought seeing that ship destroyed with no sign of Dark escaping. We then, after the emergencies alarms sounded all throughout Phoenix's ship, the ship was taking major damage from the other ship's weapons, and then explosion. I don't know why explosions in there. And then we got a surprise communication with Lag and his crew, and we were able to board and escape onto his ship and leave the dangerous part of the galaxy. And before our ship exploded, I'm in my mind like, farewell, Maxwell Enterprises. Phoenix will miss you. Back on board Lag's ship, we all caught our breaths. Most everyone looked sad and disappointed, and have a grim face and had a grim face on all of them. Phoenix took it the hardest, was yelling and raging at me. I accepted it and knew the pain he was going through and was not having it. I told him to go take a breather and rest. Okay. Then I looked at all the rest and said, you all should go too. Okay. It's been a hell of a day. You all need it. Then Lag looked confused, even sad, looked at us and even me and said, where's Dark Dragon? I gave him the news, told him to have hope, because hope is what you all need right now, okay? And that, as far as my tale on this whole story of Dark Dragon and his friends, what started out as a fun adventure led into Didi finding out he had a lost brother, and that same brother wanted to take over the universe, but in the end, neither one won. Both were presumed dead in the explosion, and now his crew can only live in hope that maybe Dark survived. But me, I knew better. I knew the truth. But like all futures, that's spoilers, and that's a story for another time. But for now, I headed back to home.